Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another short news video for Final Fantasy XIV. This time we're looking at the latest developer blog entry titled ABCD Easy as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in particular, this developer blog talks about Waymarks. Waymarks are the things that we can place down in content to give people a better idea of how to actually do certain mechanics. Now, since the live letter, there was a lot of speculation as to what this would look like, but thankfully this developer blog outlines it for us. So with the addition of 5.2, which launches next Tuesday, the 18th of February, we get the addition of 2 new markers, the blue number 3 there on the left in this image, and the 4 pink, which I personally think looks more like a G, but you know, the 3 and the 4 are being added to the game. So that means that we're going to have a total of 8 waymarkers to place down in content, which you might think to yourself, wow, that's actually really cool. I'm glad they've added some more waymarkers, because sometimes you have stack points that aren't outlined or something like that, and having these waymarkers does help certain people in the community. Now, as a direct result of 5.2, you will no longer be able to place down markers in combat. This is actually to combat a third-party tool, ACT or ACT, which some people have added a small add-on to that third-party parsing software to essentially allow them to place down markers or specific mechanics as the fight progresses. So it's automatically putting markers out for certain mechanics. This was employed in certain world first progress recently, and as a result of that, they're making it so that nobody in the game can place down markers anymore in combat, which is just a thing now that we have to accept after next Tuesday. So as you can see on this screen, we have the 8 markers there, which is really nice to have. And we also have these 5 little bars. Now, these are presets. So for example, if you have your markers in a perfect position that works for you and actually allows you to clear the content, perhaps even there's a pug strategy, you're doing the content and you want to have these particular markers in the same place, you can save them to one of these 5 presets. Now, these presets, all 5 of them are in total, they're not per content. So obviously the first one in their demonstration is Hell's Keir, the markers for clearing that content. Number 2 could be Eden Savage 2, for example. You can only save 5 of these, but it does allow you to actually save these and use them with just a click of the button when you zone into the instance. The other thing you can actually do here is actually use a subcommand to share these via a link in the game with other members of the community. So essentially, if there is a team that goes in there, clears it perfectly, has the strat nailed down, they can link this in chat. Other people can then click on that and save it to their own preset list, which is quite helpful, I think you'll agree, and will allow for a lot more pug groups to get through the content much more quickly. Other things to change in 5.2 relating to duties include changes to the duty finder. You will actually see on the duty commencement window will display the actual duty finder settings. So if you look at the bottom there are actually settings, the little lock symbol there or whatever, it'll be easier to tell. They say when you accidentally selected minimum item level when you're trying to solo a dungeon. Additionally, a penalty message displayed when withdrawing from a popped-up duty will now be shown to all party members and not just a withdrawing player, so that makes it a little easier to actually go, wait, don't withdraw, or whatever if you need to. So they're just adding little bits to certain UI elements to make it much easier. Another new tool that's being added is the ability to reply in selected chat mode. They say, have you ever tried to respond to a joke in FC chat and accidentally replied in party chat? Or said, thanks for the party in a link shell when it was meant for your party at the end of the duty? Whenever I do this, I have to stop and type out an explanation and end up falling behind. So as you can see here, there's a new menu that says reply in selected chat mode. Essentially, you select a message in your chat log and open the subcommand menu, and reply to selected chat mode will be right there. So that's just a little small thing, but could save a lot of time essentially. But I don't know, I'll probably still end up making the same mistake regardless. And the last thing added in 5.2 is the duty recorder is now usable for the following duties. So for the Dying Grasp, the Minstrel's Ballad Hades Elegy, and the copied factory. As a direct request from Yoshi P, Duty Recorder will now be capable of recording in Alliance raids. Now I can take a good look to see if 2P is guiding me to safety each time. So Duty Recorder is one of those things that I don't think many people even use. It's one of these niche pieces of content that's never around when you need it. They refuse to put it during World Progress for anything, due to the fact that it could be used to actually analyze the fight, and they don't want to give people an advantage over people who don't use it. But at the same time, apart from that, it doesn't have many uses, because as soon as those people have cleared that, people have already started making guides the following week, and by the time we get Duty Recorder for those instances, a couple of months later, if they even update it. So Duty Recorder to me is a little bit of a dead sort of thing. But hey, the use in copied factory is quite cool. We could get some decent pans and probably some different camera angles. That could be quite fun. I do like the idea of using this tech for Alliance raids because they're a lot more casual, and maybe that's the place for this then, if they don't want to allow people to use this to learn and progress through that content. Either way, that's the developer blog entry for today, the 13th of February. And yeah, what do you think about all of the new changes? Do you like the fact that you will no longer be able to put markers down in combat? Or are you more concerned about the idea of sharing these presets of waymarkers across the entire community and using their marks instead of perhaps using your own strategies? Maybe people will only recognize a certain set of marks in pugged content, and when they come to your group, expect to use those overall. Either way, let me know below, and I'll see you all next time.